everybody. How are you? There we go. Got the sound right for you. Whew. How's it going? How's it going? I hope you are doing well. I am here with Story and Art. I'm Gretchen. For those of you who are new, I do a nightly, usually live storytelling, sharing the wonderful story and art that can be found in picture books. But I am off on an adventure. I am just winding up a trip to photograph elephants and other wild beasties in Botswana and South Africa. So I am probably getting close to winging my way home, but I didn't want to leave my wonderful folks in the Story and Art in this story circle out while I was gone. So I recorded some premieres for you, and that's what this one is. And this is the third in a 3-part series that I've done on, it's called True Tales. True Tales, Part 3, Tales being T-A-I-L-S, the 4-legged variety. And it is just wonderful to see these stories of how animals open up their hearts to other species. It's pretty amazing, and take care of each other. The first one we heard the other night was called Talala, and it was about a baby leopard in India that was taken in by a lioness and her cubs. And then last night I read the story of Owen and Mazee, the baby hippopotamus that was rescued after the tsunami of 2004, had been stranded and was taken to a rescue center, a preserve, and was basically adopted by a Galapagos tortoise that was 130 years old, Mazee. And they're still going strong. Best friends. It's pretty amazing. Tonight I have the story of Sterling. It's a little closer to home because I should be winging my way home. If this is right on this one, then I'm probably on a plane heading back to the United States somewhere. And so I thought I'd tell you a story of one that's a little closer to home. And that is the story of a moose and some unlikely friendships that a moose formed. Yes, hang on. This book, too, is by Vita Murrow, who wrote Talala, and it's illustrated by Lavila Poder. And I couldn't find a lot of information on that illustrator either. Maybe there'll be some in the book. I'll let you know if there is. But so let's get started, though. It's time for Story and Art. And we call it an art because a lot of you folks are artists and you're fascinated with the art that is in these books. And that's sometimes can make the story sing. All right, here we go. Sterling. The love-struck moose with a heart for cows. Oh dear. It was the time of disco, flower crowns, and spreading the love. The heartbeat of the era thumped from big cities to country fields. It reached all the way to Sterling the moose, who lived in a woodsy marsh. Sterling was as tall as a truck and weighed 450 kilograms. Oh dear, hang on, pause while I find out how much a kilogram. Okay, I just checked with Siri. That's 450 kilograms is 992 pounds. Whoa. He was covered in thick brown hair and had a soft, shaggy beard. Trees brushed against the sturdy antlers on his head, and in Sterling's eyes was a twinkle which hinted at something special in his heart. A love for cows. See the raccoons looking on it from the back? Luckily for him, beside his marsh stood a grand dairy farm. It was the home of a big herd of cows and a busy farmer. With their big brown eyes and square silhouettes, Sterling was bewitched, but oh no, the farmer had built a long fence that made sure the cows of the dairy farm never ever crossed paths with the animals from the woodsy marsh. Humph! No farmer was going to keep Sterling from love. One day, while Sterling was working out some grass from his big old teeth and not looking where he was going, he backed up into the fence. It creaked against his huge weight. Sterling had an idea. He squared up his rump, and with a thump, he pushed at the fence. And the fence gave way, and Sterling had before him an opportunity. A whole field of cows. Sterling bounded amongst them and sat down and winked his twinkling eyes. The cows loved Sterling's groovy vibe until the farm dog arrived and scurried them back to the barn. The next day, Sterling came back to the broken fence to hang out with the cows. The farmer did not approve and sent the farm dogs to draw the cows away, but Sterling followed. The farmer roared the tractor to send Sterling away, but Sterling charged right past. And when the farmer fixed the fence, Sterling and the cows leaned on it with their united weight until it fell. Nothing could keep Sterling from his new friends. Then one day, Sterling could not see the cows anywhere, so he followed the farmer. But it was a trick. Sterling followed the farmer right into a big trailer. Before he knew it, the gate was closed and the trailer pulled out onto a road, and the ride made him sleepy. When Sterling woke, he found the farmer had dropped him at the Canadian border. Alone in a new wilderness, Sterling hatched a plan. No farmer was going to keep him from his finding love. Sterling had tricks of his own. His fluffy beard to the ground, he nosed along until he discovered tire tracks. He followed them along a country road until he reached another dairy farm. Sterling sniffed the air. When cows eat, they eat grass. When the cows eat, they get gassy and can let off up to 320 liters of gas a day. But Sterling didn't mind. He followed the smell towards a fenced field. At that same moment, on the other side of the fence, was a brown cow named Star. She was munching greens, and Star thought the air around her was much too stinky, so she backed farther and farther away from the herd. Sterling lined his bum up to break this new fence, and at just the same time, Star's rump backed closer and closer to the fence until, bump, the two rears collided. The fence gave way, and with it, Sterling's heart. It was all disco and flower crowns and love. The other cows crowded around, and Sterling beckoned for them to follow. With the thunder of hooves, Sterling and the cows led the cows through the broken fence into the fields and towards a new future. The alarmed farmer was close behind, but the herd was Sterling's now. He gave the farmer a grin and his signature wink, and the farmer was so unsettled that they scurried to the nearest tree. From then on, nothing could stand in the way of a cow and a moose, ready to break down fences, let off gas, and spread the love. Did you know that this book is based on a real-life story of a moose in the United States? In 1977, a 450-kilogram moose befriended cows on a dairy farm in Morrisville, USA. He threatened anyone who tried to milk them. The moose had to be moved to a wildlife sanctuary in Holland, Vermont, which is beside the Canadian border into Quebec. But the determined guy escaped and in protest set free a herd of cows from a nearby farm. When humans confronted him, the moose chased them up a tree. This is just one of many accounts of moose befriending cows. Stories have been recorded from the USA all the way to Germany. Moose and cows have a lot in common. The names of their family members are the same: bull, cow, and calf for their little ones. Moose and cows both eat mostly plants in multiple chambered stomachs. And of course, they both let off a lot of gas. Humans have a close relationship with cows. We raise them for food and milk, and cows are a part of a religious devotion for many. Moose are less close to humans. We hunt them, use their habitat, leave behind chemicals, and cause accidental fires, which make it hard for moose to thrive. You can be a moose ally by learning ways to safeguard their future so they can continue to make new friends. I love that. A true story with a little bit of adaptation and freedom by the author. There's another one called Fluffles and Onyx. 2 more stories in this series that I will have to try to find at some point. But right now, that was the story of Sterling the moose who had a heart for cows. Oh my gosh. Ah, yes, and as big as a truck. Yeah, I'm not afraid of a lot of animals, as you know. Bears don't bother me. Elephants, probably coming back from this, don't bother me either. But moose are crazy, unpredictable. They're a little bit different. So who knows? I haven't gotten very close to them. I have photographed moose in Yellowstone and one from far distance in the Grand Tetons, hoping to get better photographs of them at some point. But they are kind of a elusive sort of animal in their own right. But they're very majestic. Huge, though. Absolutely huge. Anyway, you guys, that was the story of Sterling and the third in my 3-part series of True Tales. I hope you guys have enjoyed these last few nights of these and are getting ready for me to come home pretty soon. Yay! I know I will be excited to share with you all the adventures and stories and maybe bring home some books from Africa. I also am going to head up to the Children's Book Museum. Today is the 16th. Tomorrow, my plan is tomorrow or the 18th to head to the Children's Book Museum that Eric Carle established in Amherst, Massachusetts. And I am so excited for that. Yes, and I'll share more from there. Okay, then, until next time, this has been Gretchen with Story and Art, and I thank you for inviting me into your home, for being part of our chat, for being part of the premiere, for keeping the story circle going, and as always, for always looking for the beauty hidden in plain sight. It's all around you. First place you'll find it, though, is when you go look in the mirror and it's looking right back at you. So until next time, everybody, take care.
All we need is a place to be and a few good friends for some company. If you'd like to stay, you don't have to leave. We'll leave the lights on and the door unlocked. If you drop on by, you don't have to knock. We're happy to share whatever we've got.